Okay, first I want to apologize for the vertical. It just works better on Explain Everything. When I turn it sideways, it looks a little wonky, so I know that vertical isn't perfect, but we're going to go ahead and we are going to do it that way today, so I apologize right off the bat. We are going to write a quick Mighty Memoir. I just want to show you guys how quick this is. Let me get my pen ready to go. I'm sorry about the taps there. All right, I don't like to start with the catchy beginner. I always tell the kids, start with your topic sentence. Your topic sentence is very basic, very easy, and it gets you started. It lets you know the direction. I am going to do what I was born to do. This is going to be a shocker for everybody. If you're sitting at home, if you're sitting in class, take a guess at what Mr. Pete was born to do. If you guessed teacher, you are correct. All right, so here we go. My topic sentence. So again, it's what I was born to do. My topic sentence is literally, I was born to be a teacher. And you'll notice I didn't indent this. I do like to show indents. I don't do it for my topic sentence because my topic sentence isn't going to be my first sentence. I'm going to come back and do my catchy beginner. I always tell the kids to go in about 1 inch or 2 fingers and put a little X there so I know that when I do write that sentence, I should indent. All right, I'm done with my topic sentence. I know that in my final draft, I can jazz it up a little bit, especially after I write my catchy beginner. A lot of the kids like to blend them together. I'm not going to do that today, but it is something that you can absolutely do. I'm going to go to my first supporting detail, and I do apologize about about it being vertical. I also apologize about the toolbar there, but there's not much I can do about it. So I do like to kind of, again, each supporting detail doesn't have to be one sentence. I do like to theme each detail. I can have more than 3 details. I can use up every inch of this space. It doesn't have to be perfect. Some of the kids said, Mr. Pete, is it okay if I use this space? Absolutely, if you know you're going to write 10, 11, 12 details, and some kids do. I am going to theme this out. I'm going to do supporting detail 1 is going to be about coaching, which was the first thing that I did before I taught. Supporting detail 2 is going to be family, who teaches. And supporting detail 3 is going to be becoming a teacher. Okay, again, nice and easy. I like to storytell when I write about myself, so I'm probably going to lean to that, but we shall see how it goes. All right. When I graduated from college, the first time, and I do like to give a little bit of background, but remember, every detail has to eventually lead to me being born to be a teacher. When I graduated from Edinboro, and I'm just going to put college, I can detail it up when I type it. I might even put a little star there, just so I can remember. I might add another detail there. When I graduated from college, I had a biology degree. I had no intention of being a teacher. So there is my connection. Again, I'm right now, the kid, if you're reading this, you're probably thinking, well, what does that have to do with you being a teacher? Well, I didn't start off thinking I was going to be a teacher. Excuse me. But my cousin asked me to coach basketball with him at his school, George Junior Republic. I loved working with the kids. Now you can see, as I kind of finish up this first little bit, you can see it's sort of like my intro. You can see that I didn't want to be a teacher, but it's where I fell in love with working with kids. So it was my kind of my opening, and you can see that it was many sentences. It doesn't have to be many sentences. Of course, we talked about what the difference is between an S and an E, and obviously the more detail that fits, the better. Okay? So, my cousin, and again, I'm focusing on family here, and that's where I start with my cousin. And I'm going to put my cousins, Teddy and Travis, not only were coaches, comma, but were also studying to be teachers. I also have had two uncles, teach and began to realize that teaching was in my blood. So, I went back to Edinburgh, to get another degree, to get my teaching degree. And my last paragraph. This is about me being a teacher. There has never been a day, and you can see all of this has been, I don't have to look this information up. All of this information is in my brain. And I do know I'm just trying to get it down on paper. I'm just trying to get my ideas down so they flow. And you can see, because I write a lot, that I have two really good paragraphs, two really good details in my paragraph, my one paragraph. It's a lot of detail, though, boys and girls. I'm not expecting you to have this much. I'm also older than you, so I have a lot more stories to tell. But you may have just as much as me or more. And, of course, as we improve the words, when we do our final drafts, that's when you can really get this to be that peak level of your writing, okay? So there has never been a day I haven't loved teaching. Loved being a teacher. I'm going to change this to, instead of teacher, so I was going to write teacher, but instead of teacher, I'm going to cross that out, and I'm going to jazz it up a little bit. Being a guiding light for students. Well, obviously, I'm not actually a guiding light That is a metaphor. I'm going to add some figurative language now. I know I can go back in later and do that too. A guiding light for students. Every day, in the classroom, is like waking up at Christmas morning. There's nothing better than being a teacher. My concluding sentence, I kind of connect, that almost was a concluding sentence right there. I want to connect it to this, so I'm going to change colors one more time. Going to black. And my final sentence, I'm so very thankful that my life led me to teaching. And it's okay. Not super crazy about it, but for now, it gets me my concluding sentence. I can now come back up and do my catchy beginner. I am going to do dialogue. So I'm going to go ahead and keep it black. Dialogue, of course, needs my quotation marks. And I not only want the dialogue, but I want kind of what's going on with the dialogue. I don't just want words here. So I'm going to go back to when I first knew I wanted to be a teacher, and I'll never forget. Jim, have you ever thought about becoming a teacher? My cousin Travis asked after an intense basketball practice. Now, here's where, just kind of looking ahead, here's where, I start to think about changing my topic sentence. I'm not going to do it now because I just want to show you how easy it is to write these. But, Jim, have you ever thought about becoming a teacher? My cousin Travis asked after an intense basketball practice. I was born to be a teacher. I could say something like, this is what led me to make the best decision of my life, becoming what I was born to be, ... a teacher, something like that. That was just off the top of my head, but of course there's probably 10 different ways I can go about doing that. So, this is just a quick, again, reminder of how quick these can be. Obviously, without chatting, I probably could have done it a lot quicker than that. We will have another video up tomorrow when I get home from my work day. I will put a video up on how to edit while you're doing this. Okay, and remember, I grade 3 of these just based on what you have. I don't need these to be perfect. I want them to be you, all you. Okay? So, get these done. We have 2 weeks to go until they're due. So, plenty of time. So make sure you get your 10 done. All right? On to the next.